right here on the Rich Eisen Show in person. Thrilled to have right here a fan of this man's work and so many different things that he's done, from, again, Shawshank Redemption, Starship Troopers, terrific, and Lost. The Informant is another fun movie that he was in back in the days, Bad Boys, and now he kind of plays one in Dexter, New Blood, airing Sundays at 9 Eastern on Showtime. The man who played Captain Hadley back in the day in Shawshank Redemption, now here on the Rich Eisen Show. Clancy Brown, what a pleasure to see you, sir.
What a pleasure to be here, Rich. Thank you so much.
I didn't even mention Billions, which you were fantastic in
Thanks so much.
as well.
Nice.
So we'll talk about all of this, but for the first things first, you are from the state of Ohio, correct? That's where you're
Indeed
from?
I am.
Okay.
Indeed I am.
So lay out your fandom on the floor for all of us to see right here. What do you got for me?
Heartbreaking loss. But
which loss are we referring
the
to?
loss of the big game.
Okay.
Couple weeks ago. But
yes.
But Rich,
yes.
I have to say I did watch your take on it.
Okay.
And it was epic. it was poetic. It was so as a born Ohioan who automatically roots for Ohio State no matter what, even though I went to another Big Ten school.
You went to Northwestern.
Went to
right?
Northwestern.
Okay.
My wife went to Iowa. I mean, we're a Big Ten family, but I root for Ohio State all the time. I can't help but think that it was really good for the Big Ten that Michigan won.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
I think it was really good for the Big Ten because I got really tired of of two teams being in it.
Okay.
It's like the SEC. It's always Alabama.
Yeah.
And Big Ten, it was always Ohio State.
Okay. So we've just met, and I don't know if this is you being passive aggressive with me right here, Clancy.
No. I'm not being passive aggressive.
I'm being very honest. I'm just being honest here. So.
No, I'm not being passive aggressive.
Okay.
No. I'm from Ohio when Paul Brown and Woody Hayes. I mean, that's when I was a kid. That's when I became sports aware. Paul Brown and Woody Hayes were the coaches in the nation that is Ohio, the football nation. And it's kind of deteriorated since then, as far as I'm concerned. But I think these teams have to, this college football is getting boring.
So you need to mix it up a little bit.
So we need to mix it up. And we got to have Michigan back. I mean, look.
Oh, gosh.
Michigan. Okay, so
see, these are all the touchstones from Ohio State folks that I get. That they're glad to have you back. We needed
glad to have you back. We do. And but you got one thing wrong in your second. In your second one, when they made the CFP, which is your little catty comment about Michigan State, that hurt. That hurts you. Michigan State always hurts. Michigan State hurts every. It hurts Ohio State, hurts Michigan.
No, it did hurt.
You lost to
Michigan
Michigan
State. It definitely hurt. And I fully admit that that loss to Michigan State, it hurts. It definitely hurts. And it left a mark, but it's now just it's the bruise is fading.
Right.
And it's now just, it's not a scar. It's nothing permanent.
You described it as your
speed
best.
Bump. Yeah.
No. Yeah. You described it as the best day of your life, the best week of your life.
Yes, true.
You wake up and the next day is even better than the best day. It was epic. It was so good. It was so good.
Thank you, Clancy Brown. Thank you.
There is that little spider bite of Sparty dominating the Wolverines.
Yeah, that is there, but it was just a character building loss that without it, I mean, we had Aiden Hutchinson on this week. He said that without that loss, they might not be Big Ten champions right now. So, I understand. Can we all come together in unison against the Georgia Bulldogs? Can we at least do that?
Oh, yeah. No, okay, I'm rooting for Big Ten, and I'm rooting for Ohio. I would love to see a Big Ten versus Cincinnati. I would love that.
So, Clancy Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. You mentioned Paul Brown and Woody Hayes are the coaches of your youth and how you kind of fell in love with sports in Ohio football. Are you still a Bengal now? Are you still rooting for the Bengals now?
Yeah, no question.
Okay.
Yeah, no question.
Joe Burrow, a kid from Athens, being the quarterback. So why not Cleveland? Is that all?
Why not Cleveland? I mean, I like Cleveland, but they moved to Baltimore. Right?
Okay.
They moved to Baltimore.
Okay.
So I'm trying to learn to love these new Cleveland Browns.
Okay. So
I despise the Baltimore Ravens because they abandoned the nation state of Ohio.
So it's not a Cleveland per se.
No, well, I'm not a Cleveland guy. I'm Southern Ohio guy.
Because I
don't root for the Indians. I root for the Reds.
Okay, so I thought you were doing like a Sam Weich thing. Like you're not in Cleveland. You're from Cincinnati.
I don't hate Cleveland, but that's a different Cleveland team too. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Right. So no, I don't hate Cleveland. Okay. I don't hate Cleveland. All right. I would root for them if they won.
Okay.
I mean, I like my fandom of convenience is L.A. and is the Rams and the Chargers.
Yes.
And the ones in my heart are Cleveland.
Okay. And the Cavs? Are you a Cavs guy?
No, I'm not really a basketball guy.
You're not really a basketball guy. All right. Clancy Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. So much to talk to you about right here on the show. The first things first, the movie or TV show that you get the most when people see you is what, Clancy?
The latest one.
Is that right? Is that right?
Whatever's on at the time.
Is that right?
But of all of them, I'd say probably Shawshank.
It is that.
Yeah. And SpongeBob.
What was in Sponge? Because you're the voice of
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. Do you get people saying, "Can you record something?"
All the time. All the time, I get that.
That's pretty much it.
Yep, every time for their kids.
For the kids.
I tell their kids to send me all their money. And one time it happened. And then I stopped doing it.
Then you stopped?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, Shawshank, did you have any sense at the time shooting that film what you were endeavoring at that moment in time?
No. I mean, nobody ever did. And we didn't, even when it opened, nobody thought it was.
Really?
I mean, we knew it was a good movie. You always know it's a good script. It's a good movie. It was an A-list group of guys, and it was a group of guys. And it was in my home state. We shot it in Mansfield. So, I was as happy as could be. Brer Rabbit. But, you never know if anything's going to be any good. You hope. You hope against hope. You put together all the best guys. You had Terry Marsh, who was the designer, and you had Roger Deakins, who was the photographer, the DP. It was a real A-list group of folks. But you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I've been in movies where there's an A-list group of folks and it just completely tanks. And it didn't do well at the box office initially. Its love came from ancillary markets, from VHS.
Right.
Being on TBS
and
every hour of every day.
It was on last night, right?
It was on last night.
It's totally on.
So you're sometimes flipping around the channels and boom, there it is.
Yeah, always.
What's your favorite scene from the film? Which one do you love? Where you're like, that was
any
a beautiful
scene that Morgan is narrating. I love
that works, right?
Yeah, I love that. What's my favorite scene? I don't know. The end at the tree is just brilliant.
But you're not in that one.
No. I don't like any of the scenes I'm in. Are you kidding? No. I can only look at it and think how I would have done it better.
You got something?
Oh, well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because your character is such a SOB, right? Like, what scene of yours kind of makes your stomach curl? We're like, man, this guy is a terrible dude.
Certainly the first one, where he beats up the fat ass guy.
Fresh fish.
Yeah, fresh fish. And it's funny enough, later on in my career, I ran into him again on ER and killed him again. He was.
Come on.
Yeah. He came in as an emergency patient and I was kind of a whatever the hot doctor was at the time. And I had to give him amps of epi and all that stuff, and he goes flatline on me. So I killed him twice.
That is amazing.
I killed him twice, not on purpose.
So if he ever shows up on set with you one more time, I'll be like, oh no.
Yeah, I know. He knows he's not.
I've got no shot here.
Yeah, good old Frank.
Oh my gosh, Clancy Brown here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, and before we hit Dexter New Blood, there's a whole bunch of other questions about you and your career that I want to know is true or false. We've got all of these stories that have been written about you or facts on the internet.
Oh, I got one for you, too.
Okay, so this will be great. Celebrity, true or false? Me for Clancy Brown, and apparently one for me in the other direction. Go ahead and hit it. This is our production value with all of it. Here we go.
Celebrity, true or false?
You can't handle the truth.
All right, that's it. That's all we got. That's our production value.
Awesome.
Okay, here we go. First question for you, Clancy Brown. True or false, you originally attended Northwestern, we know that's true, on a track scholarship as a discus thrower, but switched majors to theater arts after 2 seasons. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. although I wasn't majoring in track, which annoyed my coach, Don Amity. But yeah.
Especially since you went on a scholarship, right?
Yeah. He told me just, keep the scholarship, just invite him to a show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He's a great guy. He was a great guy.
How far could you throw a discus?
When I was concentrating and good,
sure.
I think I got like 160, touching 170.
Damn.
But, look, man, those guys in the Big Ten are big.
Right.
I mean, I'm sort of big, but they're really big.
So
and they were football players that weren't on football scholarship,
right?
That were the track players, and that's back in the day when steroids were good for you. And, it was just there were prices I was not willing to pay back then.
Oh my gosh! All right, next one up. True or false? You were cast in Highlander at the recommendation of Sting.
That's true too. Yeah. Well, I hear that's true. That story is that they had offered it to Arnold. Mm-hmm. Who said, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who had said, I just did a bad guy. I did the Terminator. I'm not interested in playing another bad guy.
Right.
And so Russell Mulcahy, the director, was from videos, music videos.
Yes.
He was an Australian guy, or New Zealand, I'm not sure which. But he was at some party with, rock and roll party, because that's what they do. And knew Sting, and I had just done The Bride with Sting, and I think he said, well, you should look at this Yank that I worked with. He seemed like a nice guy and a pretty good actor, and he's big, and
And that's how you got into Highlander. That's how you got in the movie Highlander, huh?
Well, that and the fact that I was really not expensive at the time.
So, I mean, got to be lucky and inexpensive and good.
Yeah, I was really
that's at the crossroads of lucky, inexpensive, and good. And so, what was Sting like? Did you get to hang with him?
Yeah, he was terrific. He's the nicest guy ever, And Sting and Trudy both, they had us over to their house, and
you've dined with Sting. What do you call him? Do you call him Sting?
You call him Sting. You don't call him Gordon. He's Sting. I mean, that's who he is.
So you just say, "Hey, Sting, can you?"
I would love to see him. I haven't seen him since. I mean, yeah, he was a very sweet guy. I think he sort of bored with the show after a while, because making movies becomes boring sometimes.
Sure.
And so he started working on his solo album, The Dream of Blue Turtles.
Oh, of course.
About halfway through the show. So he was.
Hey. I mean, you gave up discus for something else,
Right. And that's his bread and butter.
All right. The true or false? Your first acting job after moving to Los Angeles was playing a bad guy in The Dukes of Hazzard.
Right on. Second bad guy. Number 2.
Look at you on the screen right there, man. Look at
there
that.
I am.
Look at that collar.
There's Jeff Joseph.
Look at the stash, man.
Yeah, right.
You were in The Dukes of Hazzard, huh?
Yeah. I was thrilled because the episode was called Too Many Roscoes. And the conceit was that we had found a double for Jim Best, who played the sheriff, which I can't remember the name of him, and we were going to replace him. And so I got to sit down with Jim Best, and I started fanboying out on him, and he just was not interested. It was just, thank you, son.
Did you get anywhere close to the General Lee in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I think we hijacked it at some point.
Damn.
But I didn't know a lot about the show. Jeff, who was the other guy, he knew what to do.
Okay.
And it was so good that he knew what to do. He jumped into it, because you can't open the door,
right?
Apparently, right. So he jumped in the window. And I think I just took Jim Best in the Prius that we had.
So did you still get residual checks from the Dukes of Hazzard to this day? Yes,
probably.
I just got a check. I just got a check from my combined 2 episodes of CSI Miami that I've been in, where I've played announcer and male announcer. I have range, Clancy.
Whoa.
I've got range, man. Combined $5.59.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey, that ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing.
It adds up.
Okay, so fantastic. All right, last one
we'll have
for
to
you.
get you on SpongeBob. Then
I
you're
appreciate
really raking in the dough.
By the way, I'll go under the sea. Last one for you. True or false? In Bad Boys, Sean Penn asked the other actors to actually spit on you in one scene.
Not on me, on him.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Spit on him.
Yeah, I wasn't at that scene. Yeah. He comes in, and it's like the fresh fish scene, and he's got his clothes, his gear. He's been through all the intake process, and so he wanted all the kids to spit on him, all the extras to spit on him, and And
This
that was fine, I guess. One of the actors, I mean, I didn't know. It was my first movie. I wasn't going to spit on him. But,
Yes.
One of the actors insisted that everybody brush their teeth and, have
before we spit on Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, who really wasn't like the Sean Penn that we know of then. He was on his way there, but
Well, I remember Bad Boys. It was like, wait a minute, Jeff Spicoli's acting seriously.
Right, right, exactly.
I remember back then that was kind of stunning that the guy who was brilliantly funny in Fast Times is like he's a serious actor.
Yeah, my debut. You know who else's debut?
Who was
Alan Ruck.
Huh.
Rucker was in that.
He was.
Yeah.
He came on this show, Alan Ruck, talking about how he was 29 when he shot Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, and he looks, he's a little older than me, and he looks 20 years younger.
Right.
That's just his curse.
So you and Alan Ruck made the same debut in Bad Boys.
Yeah,
You got a good Sean Penn story? Because I know you've been in other stuff with him.
No, I haven't. That was the only one I've been in. No.
Oh, okay.
What's my Sean Penn story?
If you don't have one,
I don't really have a Sean Penn story, except that he was going out with Bruce Springsteen's sister at the time, Pamela, and I later ran into Pamela as a parent. We were both parents at the same elementary school.
That's the way life works, huh?
Right? Isn't it weird?
It is certainly weird. All right, so what's your true or false for me?
Your first job out of college was
the
KRCR?
KRCR TV, yes.
Right. My wife also, first job out of college.
Are you serious?
Wow. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Right up there in
for
Reading.
TV. So what did she?
Right?
Yeah, right.
Kobe.
Yes.
And then after you left, they
California, Oregon Broadcasting Incorporated.
Right.
Yeah. What did she do up there?
Did
we work together?
No, she was a little bit before you. She did the slot between Good Morning America and something else. She did Good Morning California.
Wow.
Or AM, whatever it is.
Something
AM
like
California.
that. Yeah, that's.
And she did a lot of this. She did a lot of interviewing people who were supporting actors on TV shows.
Man, it was for me. I'm from New York City, and being up there in Redding, California, where we broadcast to every day in the Redding Chico market, where Aaron Rodgers grew up.
Right.
And just going up in that beautiful part of the North State. It is so beautiful. Yeah. But I was in New York. I'm a New Yorker going up there. It was like northern exposure. It was like walking around, and I'm like panning for gold and fly fishing.
Did you love it, or
I loved it?
Could you not get out of there fast?
No, you know what? I just had a vision about getting to Sports Center as fast as I possibly could.
Right.
But I loved it. Like I said, I went. I went on a houseboat on Lake Shasta, and I drove all over the place up there. And it's closer to Oregon than it is to San Francisco.
Right. Have you been back?
A couple times.
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
And we haven't been back in a while.
Well, you got to go.
Trying to get up there.
So
I got another one for you.
Okay, my gosh.
But you won't know.
All right, what is that?
True or false?
Yes.
Today is my mother's birthday.
I'm going to say that's a true story.
That is a true story.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Happy birthday.
Today is my mom's birthday.
Okay.
Joyce.
All right.
Miss
Born
Joyce.
in 1929.
Clancy Brown.
92 years old.
Wow, fantastic.
Still hanging in
birthday.
there, taking care of my dad.
Okay.
And we could all sing happy birthday to
Yeah,
her.
very good. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go. What's her name again?
Joyce.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Joyce. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Love it.
Okay.
So I am mandated to say, what does your mom think of your work in Dexter New Blood?
She's not watching it. She's not I'm not keeping her from watching it, but I'm not telling her how to operate the remote. I'm not explaining that. I'm not.
Wait a minute, what is this Showtime anytime thing?
I'm not
Clancy?
getting into that with her. Yeah. You have to ask your husband for that.
I would say my mom's watching us on Peacock right now, but the number of times she's like, so you're on what again? At any rate.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
That was
absolutely.
awesome.
So Dexter New Blood, Sundays, 9 p.m. on Showtime. I know there's a lot to reveal about your character. I don't want to go places where potentially you or the folks who make it don't want me to go. Okay. But you tell me. I mean, what you are like about this, why you're jumping on it, why you wanted to do this and be part of this new, I guess, rebirth of one of the more popular shows of our time.
Right.
Clancy Brown.
Okay. I don't really have a rap about this yet, so I'm gonna like try it.
Work it out. Work it out.
I took it because it was the pandemic and I hadn't worked in about a year.
Okay.
I do remember the first iteration of it, and when it was being cast around, they were considering me for Remar's part for a minute. Glad I didn't do it because Remar was so good in it.
Yes.
I didn't watch it though. But as soon as they were interested, I started watching all of it and was kind of amazed by how terrific it is. Now, the idea that you have a television show, a popular television show, like a raging fandom for a character that is a serial killer is just bizarre, right? And so I'm supposed to play the bad guy, right? I'm the bad guy.
Right.
For a serial killer.
Yes.
How am I not a victim? How am I not one of his victims? Now, my character thinks he's pretty hot stuff, and, you know, maybe he's killed a few people, but nothing compared to Dexter. My guy is kind of he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yes.
To the end, he never calls him Dexter. He doesn't connect that. He calls him Jim. He thinks he's Jim. He doesn't realize that he's sitting across in that picture there. He doesn't realize he's sitting across from somebody who's on camera, killed 150 people.
Yeah, makes you
High
like an
body
angel.
count. Yeah, body count time.
Yeah,
But I'm the bad guy.
Body count time. Yeah.
I'm the bad guy.
Right.
How are me and my family not victims of this psycho killer? Thank you. All right.
Great point, Clancy, that you bring up.
Oh,
All right.
my God. 9 p.m.
That's a
on
great way to
Showtime.
look at it.
Sunday nights, 9 p.m. on
Great
Showtime.
show. I've
Yeah,
been a
love
long-time
that.
fan.
Love Michael, by the way. Michael's terrific. And
Yeah, he was on a few weeks ago
and the
talking.
kid that's in it is terrific too, Jack Alcott.
Yep.
Julia, everybody in it was really good.
And
A lot
again,
of fun to do.
That's again on Showtime at 9 Eastern Time. I could go on and on, man.
Rich, I told Clancy he and I actually met a few years ago.
You met everybody
on a set of the movie The Guardian
That's
with
right.
Kevin Costner and Ashton.
Right after
Kutcher.
Katrina.
Down
They
in
had,
Louisiana.
they were set up. It was a Coast Guard movie with Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher, and they had set up built this big thing in New Orleans, a big tank. Katrina comes in, wipes out New Orleans, so we all moved to Shreveport, which I'm sure the people of Shreveport love Shreveport. It was not a fun place for me to do.
But you
for
got
me
to
to
meet
stay.
T.J. Jefferson, which is a wonderful thing.
Right, I did.
Yeah,
I
very
did
good.
get
There you
to
go. I love it.
As he was pulling the slots, because we all stayed in the casino. We all stayed in the casino.
Well, you got to work on your biceps
Facts.
somehow.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe you can work on your traps too
Yeah.
if you yank that thing the right way. And then before I let you go, Billions. Holy crap, were you just awesome in that show?
Oh, thanks.
I mean,
It's
the
fun.
writing on that show, it is truly amazing. And then
Writers are great.
right. So I'm at you were in so many scenes with Paul Giamatti. I mean, that is
Well, there's another great story.
Right.
Paulie's first movie ever was a little movie that I was in also called Past Midnight with Rutger Hauer. He was in Washington at Seattle Rep, and I remember we were sitting out by a car, and he said, "Hey, do you think I should go to New York or go to L.A.?" And I'm just finished up. I said, "Well, you should stay here in Seattle and do theater, of course. But if you want to go one place," I said, "You definitely got to go to L.A. because that's where the business is." And of course, he was smart enough never to take my advice.
Right.
And went back, and now he's a huge, giant star.
he is a huge
And he's a
giant-
terrific actor.
Well, I mean,
terrific guy.
did you ever, at any point in time, as a Reds fan, talk to him about his dad and Pete Rose? Did you ever bring that up with him?
Yeah, I did bring it up a couple of times. You had to tread lightly.
I know.
You do. You
Of
do have
course
to
you
tread
do.
Because I'm very. I go back and forth about Pete. Pete pissed me off, man. Pete, that whole episode pissed me off. You knew better. You knew better.
I know. It's such a very touchy subject, and obviously, I would love to talk to Paul Giamatti, and I don't think he talks about it at all.
No, well,
Ever.
he lost his dad early.
Of course he
too.
did.
He was just a kid when his dad died.
And what
It's just sad.
what he has become as an actor. I mean,
he's
and
terrific.
I know.
Yeah,
known by fans of Billions and Howard Stern all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
That's what we say all the
Really
time.
fun,
We're
really
on
fun.
NBC on
NBC.
Peacock. That's where we're on. Good to see you, Clancy Brown. Pleasure.
a lot, Rich.
Come on
My
back
pleasure.
anytime you got anything you want to promote. We're here.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
At Real Clancy Brown on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.